Welcome home, Raiders. This week, BlizzCon, hype, Overwatch, hype, and World of Warcraft. Well, hey, I found Pepe. This is Convert to Raid number 197.
You're listening to Convert to Raid, the podcast for Raiders in the World of Warcraft.
Station in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today is October 13th, 2015, and it is now 9:14 in the p.m. Central Time. Thanks so much for joining us from all around World of Warcraft. My name is Pat Crane, the host of this show, and I'm also known as Zug around Airy Peak. And the players are here. We get to miss out on Darius this week, and I will play the big applause later for that. But for now, we'll go to Kansas City and we'll say hi to our good friend, Gizmo.
Hello.
Hello,
How's everybody
buddy?
doing tonight?
Oh, it's a fantastic night. We don't have Darius. So
that and this team right here,
the Kansas City
gone.
Royals. Oh no,
the other team.
Oh, the St. Louis, whatever it is.
Yeah, they are out tonight.
Awesome.
So
baseball. Let's go out and join our other good friend, our other player for tonight. He is from Adults with Jobs and a friend of the Asparaguys. Actually, he's one of the Asparaguys. It's Sharko!
Hey, so I spent the majority of my day writing a midterm for my class, and so I have a question for you guys off the midterm. And if you get it right, I'll buy you a drink at BlizzCon.
Okay.
Elizabethan playwright. He's an Elizabethan playwright known for working with the Globe Theater. Who is it?
Elizabethan playwright known for working at the Globe Theater.
you lost me at
Shakespeare.
There it is, Pat.
Really?
Hey!
I was gonna say that just because that's like the only possible thing that could come to my mind.
Right.
And that was actually right.
I threw you an easy one.
Yeah. Well, hi, fellas.
When in doubt,
Thanks for the quiz. Thanks for the quiz.
There
you
go.
It. I do appreciate it. All right. So now, guys, this show is probably going the World of Warcraft stuff that we have to concentrate on right here in the video. That's all we got. We've got Pepe and we've got Pepe. So, but we do have other stuff to talk about that revolves around Blizzard and or around World of Warcraft and around the other games as well. So we should probably get to it. But what have you guys been up to recently? And Gizmo, I'm going to start with you. What has been going on with you, sir?
Well, this past couple weeks, really in gaming has been a little slow for me just because of real life stuff. But I've been hopping into WildStar. I'm a little. I hate to say it. I've been cheating a little bit.
Ooh,
you terrible person.
Yeah, you're so terrible.
I mean, I tried it a while back and I hated it, but it went free to play. I gave it another shot, and I have to say it's grown on me a little bit. So it's nice for the little lull between expansions.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty good. I know a lot of our raid team has been hopping on there.
Now, are you still big on the heroes stuff as well?
Oh, of course.
Because you have the Lords of the Storm podcast, just so that everybody knows, they can go check it out. Where you talk about Heroes of the Storm.
Yes.
There's been so Lieutenant Morales is out now. There have been heroes all along the line. How's she doing? How's the rest of Heroes of the Storm looking right now?
Lieutenant Morales is out, and I think people were a little disappointed with her because we were hoping for like another super solid support to just like main meta support, and really. At this point, we're kind of finding her to be more of a niche healer for a certain comp. I mean, she's still fantastic, fun to play. Medevac's amazing. The stim drone's amazing. But I don't think she fit what people were wanting her to, which is okay. She's still good.
Well,
excited to see what happens at BlizzCon with her.
But she's like a healer. I mean, she's like a healer. She needs somebody to support in order to play correctly. That's my
Yes.
understanding. So,
And she's a healer who people want to dive on because she can't really heal herself
right.
that well. And so if people target you, you're going to be in some trouble. But
Gotcha. Shark, what's been going on with you, buddy?
Well, Shark spent the last couple days in the doghouse.
Uh-oh.
Because of
Like
some
literally?
silly things. No, not
okay.
literally.
Okay.
Even though maybe I probably should. I probably deserve it. Last week's show, commenting about normal raiding, I said something as if you haven't cleared normal raids yet, that means you're probably not raiding, or maybe you haven't found the raid. It was all silliness. And I understand how it hurt some people's feelings. It sounded as though I was saying, if you haven't finished normals, you're a bad player. I in no way intended it to mean that. I know. I felt really bad. So moral of the story is, for those of you that don't know me personally, Sharku says dumb things sometimes.
Well,
And
we
so
all
if
do.
if anybody's out there listening to the show and heard that and thought that I meant that you're bad because you haven't cleared normals, or I don't understand casuals, it's probably true. I probably don't understand casual gaming very well right now. But I meant it as a comment of people leaving the game, not as people that are still in the game being bad. So I am very sorry. And the statement was untrue anyway. So
Well, and nobody on this show ever has ever stuck their foot in their mouth ever, especially the guy that's been on the show the longest right now, which is me. I have never in the 4.5 years of this show, I have never ever said anything that was misconstrued by somebody. The intention was read differently, nothing
wrong,
like that.
yeah.
So, Shark, all I'm going to say to you is welcome to the show.
I thought I was going to get dork of the week.
No.
But yeah, I wanted to thank the guys, the community that brought to my attention. We just got a great community. Excuse me. We got a great community.
We do. We really have
Always
a great
forgiven.
community.
Everything's great. I love you guys, and I'm happy to be back on the show. I've been in WoW. I've been playing. I've been
Hey,
getting
awesome.
in my tank. I've been trying to get ready for the new raid that I'm doing this Saturday. To hardcore, still taking applications if anybody wants it.
Nice.
Look, if anybody really, really wants to tank, we've got a few people that are willing to tank, but I'm looking for somebody that really, really wants to be a tank on a Saturday team. So
Cool.
Check us out.
What time do you raid?
It's going to be 10 to 2 server time on Saturdays. So
that's Pacific.
Lunchtime.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
So it'll be a lot of fun. We're having a good time playing lots of heroes. I got into StarCraft, playing some StarCraft, trying to hone my StarCraft skills. So we'll be ready for the expansion when it comes out. Lots of fun.
Mm-hmm. And the expansion comes out right after BlizzCon, and that's going to be a big fun time. And I'm sure that we're going to learn a lot more during BlizzCon about that and all.
Which I bought StarCraft, and my girlfriend, who's obsessed with Fallout, has got Fallout 4, which comes out at the same time.
Ooh.
So she's going to be playing that. I'm going to lose her to Fallout 4. I've already
Right. Right.
Which is going to be an awesome game too. I can't wait to play that. But
Yeah,
anyway.
definitely. I know that as far as it goes for me, the only thing that I have concerned myself with today at all is Pepe. Pepe is love. Pepe is life. Pepe. So the good folks over at Blizzard HQ, they sent me over one of these guys. It was really nice. It was really nice, and they have kind of put this thing out on the store now. This Pepe is amazing. It's a little plush toy, and it's got a little head that spins. It spins with I'm not ripping its head off right now. I'm just spinning it, and it's got little clips on its feet, and like clothespins, kind of like a funky thing, so it can sit up on my microphone and be just fine. And if you guys are listening to the audio and want to watch the video, go ahead and watch the video, because Pepe's going to be here all day. And if you want to check out, I took some pictures with Pepe. I found Pepe in my pine tree outside today. It was really amazing. Does
it have hair clips to where you can clip it into your?
You can clip it into your hair if you want. If you have hair, not everybody.
I'm still looking for mine.
But it's all good. So Looks like we lost Gizmo again.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, your picture is gone.
What?
It's all right. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It'll be just shocking. That's all.
There you go. There he is.
Anywho, but they have the new Pepe is the plush Pepe is in the gear store right now, and all of the new costumes have hit World of Warcraft for Pepe as well. So you can get the ninja, you can get the Viking, you can get the what are the
pirate? Is there a pirate?
Pirate. There's a pirate one, and I think there's one other one where he dresses up like a businessman. No, I don't think that's
Business
it.
Pepe.
But there's something else as well. But you can go check it out. It's all on the World of Warcraft site, as well as in game and Wowhead, and all the guys have all the infos on where you can get the new Pepe costumes.
My favorite picture on this link is definitely Jordan Powers, who's the creator of Pepe. Mm-hmm. There's a picture of him, and it says Pepe's creator Jordan Powers lets out a mighty yelp.
Oh yeah, that was cool. That was cool. And
he's just so silly. He's just there like.
If you look it up on Twitter, it's hashtag I found Pepe. So you can check that stuff out. It's pretty funny, and you can see Pepe in my pine tree. I found a Pepe in my pine tree.
That's so great.
So
all this.
So there. Giz, what are you wearing right now?
Well, I thought my
gotta bend down a little bit.
Cool,
I think.
Until I saw your Pepe.
Yeah. Well, you have a don't take my candle. You have a kobold hat.
Don't take candles.
Oh, and the candle comes off the head.
It does come off. So I don't know. They gave these out of BlizzCon last year.
Yeah, we were. Didn't they have some at the party?
Yeah, and when people maybe had a little too much spicy water, the no take candle game was in full effect.
Oh yeah, I bet many candles were taken.
It's probably not my original candle. It's okay though.
Probably not.
I don't know where that candle's been.
It's kind of like going to a graduation ceremony and throwing your cap and then like going, I don't know where the hell it went. It's fine. It's fine.
I threw it at people. I didn't throw it up. I went, pew! Threw it at people I didn't like.
That's horrible. All right, well, let's move it along to the raid news.
Calling all raiders from around World of Warcraft land. This is raiding news.
All right, it's time to look at the raiding news. News for raiders around World of Warcraft land. And first up, really, hey, before we get to that, actually, I want to say one other thing, and that was that Krithto, the little puppy dog in game, the guy who is attached to that works at Blizzard or worked at Blizzard, is no longer working at Blizzard. And I wanted to say, Krithto, Chad, thank you so much for all of your service at Blizzard. It was great to get to know you a little bit. And good luck in whatever you're doing. I don't know what he's doing now, but he left Blizzard last week. And I think there's a job opening now.
Which I mean, Blizzard, I know you listen to the show. I'm an incredibly entertaining and community-oriented person, right?
Right.
Who likes to insult people on shows. Gosh.
I'll dish you right back out.
Man.
So,
Blizzard, why do you cater to the casuals? You're a casual.
Right. That'd be great for a community manager, wouldn't it?
As a community manager, I'm just going to blue post everything. And, You're a casual. You're a casual.
Yep. Absolutely. That's awesome.
Why can't we all be casuals anyway? All our casuals in our hearts.
All right. Well, let's get to some news for raiders around World of Warcraft. And the thing that we're going to really talk about is we're going to talk about BlizzCon, because I really do kind of want to talk about all the stuff that is going on. We saw a map, and I'll try to pull this map up. I have to figure out where the heck it is. But guys, can you describe a little bit about what you see on the map for BlizzCon? Shark, maybe I'm going to start it off with you. What can you see from that? There's a link right on the thing.
I see the link, but I don't see a map.
Geez. No, I didn't include the map.
Shark, do you need me to? Do you need me to?
Yeah, let's go to Giz. If Giz has it up,
go to you, Giz. Okay, what do you got?
So if you went to BlizzCon last year, honestly, the map looks fairly similar. The only thing I really see that moved is where the shop was last year is only going to be the coolest thing ever this year that I'm super excited for.
Isn't it right by the main stage now? Or
The shop is in Hall E, which I don't know if that's upstairs or it shows it out in the hallway, which I think is close to the main stage.
Okay.
But yeah, the where the shop used to be is going to be the Dark Moon Fair, which how freaking cool is that?
Yeah.
There's the map.
There's the map. I found
the map. It's up on the screen now as well.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get a good layout of everything. Now, is there anything that's very different about this Gizmo? Because I wasn't there last year, so I don't know.
No, the layout is literally almost the exact same. It's
cool.
Just the shop did move.
Yeah.
So
well, and we didn't have a hot stage last year at all.
Right.
Because we didn't have. There was just a panel going on for them, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
but as far as the tournament, they are doing the same thing they did last year, unfortunately, and it is being shared with the World of Warcraft arena.
Stage. Yeah.
Right.
So, and then some of the smaller panel stages moved around, but the big stages, same spot.
Unfortunately, we have to sit through WoW Arena to watch.
I know, man.
Who watches?
Actually,
WoW?
you know what?
Man.
The Heroes finals are before the WoW finals this year.
Yeah,
So.
that's true. That is
That'll
true.
be-
So it's Heroes finals, then WoW finals. And I was kind of going through the schedule a little bit as well, and it looks like it starts off kind of the way it always starts off with a World of Warcraft panel. That's the first thing in the main hall. So that's good for World of Warcraft folks. If you have the virtual ticket, make sure to stick around for that stuff and check it out. Then there was a couple of things that I noticed that weren't there. One of which was the live raid. The live raid is gone.
Live raid.
Live
Gone.
raid out of here.
Yeah.
Do you think it just didn't work last year, or do you think it's too many esports, or Gizmo? What do you think?
It's last year. I know a lot of people liked it last year. It wasn't huge for me. I enjoyed seeing the new content and stuff, but it was kind of had its moments where it was like, oh yeah, and then there would be 3 minutes of sitting there just twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it just, some of the high level raid teams are having trouble right now, splitting up as we know. So maybe they're just not up to it. I don't know.
That's true. Well, I mean, we do have Method is kind of in chaos right now with their raid team anyway, because of the split that happened, and now you have Serenity with those guys. Midwinter is kind of in transition a little bit. I'm not sure exactly where they stand for players. I think they only lost a couple, but they were kind of big name players. So maybe that's had something to do with it. Shark, do you think that esports has anything to do with the decision not to do a live raid? Or at least, that's what we see now. We don't see a live raid scheduled as of right now.
Right. And I think that it probably, because the thing is, raiding is not an esport. As much as people enjoy watching it, sometimes watching people's streams, popular teams, to world first players that are farming to learn new things about how they raid, it gets popularity on Twitch for things like that, but nowhere near what the popularity of actual e-competition is. And I'm not saying that raiding isn't a competition. I mean, the Race to World First is definitely competition, but
it's a very different kind of competition.
It's a different kind of competition. It's a competition that only lasts as long as it takes to kill the boss.
And it's a slow burn.
And it's a really, there are times where it ends in a week or two, and times where it takes a month or more.
Right.
So yeah, it's but I do know it sounds like Blizzard is really trying to push the esports scene. They're pushing. They have a lot of esports scheduled on their schedule. All of the world championships for all of their games that are holding world championships. So I think it might have a little bit. I don't know. Last year, all I got out of the live, I had a lot of fun watching the live raid, but it was mostly Darius poking me in the shoulder and being like, "Hey, look, Blatee can hit an ice block. What's your problem?" That's actually what it was last year. Every time Blatee hit ice block, Darius would just look at me.
He is amazing. He's a great player.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic.
A great player. Yeah, and you know, I mean, I think there you have issues with the raid teams, you have issues with esports, you have issues with too many damn games now for Blizzard. They want to get something on the main hall that is more informative, maybe instead of just kind of filler, which maybe was the reason that they had live raid in the first place. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with Hellfire kind of being a little bit older.
Mhm.
But that didn't stop from doing Siege of Orgrimmar last year.
Well, last year they actually did
Heimall.
Oh,
Heimall.
that's right. They did Heimall.
And that was interesting. But the thing is, they don't have anything new to present.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Right.
I'm thinking that maybe if BlizzCon lines up with an expansion, like it did last year, and it's right before the expansion comes out, then maybe they would bring Live Raid back, have some good teams that have been practicing on the PTR come in and demonstrate the new stuff. But I don't think they're going to do the same kind of stuff they did in the past, where it's like the mythic rating and, you know, racing to it. I mean, it's a cool idea, but I think there's more interesting things to do, and I think they decided that that's not what they want to focus on.
And just like one wrong turn can just spell disaster for any team, especially when you only have what was it? Was it an hour to kill 4 bosses or something like that plus trash?
Yeah, I think it was
maybe
something
45
like
minutes or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah, last year's live raid was really, I mean, I played it down, but it was really intense. It was a lot of fun. Especially, you know, the NA guys rooting for Midwinter, the underdogs, and they stuck in there. I thought they had it for a minute, and it was really, really close. But
It was just like the year before. We thought it was really, really close for Midwinter, and then they tried the same damn strat like 3 times in a row and ended up facing.
Well, this one was close all the way through, and then there was one strat that kind of put them a little bit behind, and then they came back. I mean, it was, I don't know.
Didn't it come down to like a trash pull or something like that last year?
Yeah, trash pull. Well, the thing is, Method kept dying, and they kept B-resing during the trash pull. It was brilliant what they were doing. Like, they were just, people were going down, and B-resers were just throwing stuff out because of the B-res change back there. During trash, you could res as many times as you wanted. So,
right.
But anyway, it was, you know, it was interesting, but yeah, I think they have more stuff to show. I think they have more stuff they want to focus on this year.
Sure. So Gizmo, what are you really looking forward to as far as what's on the schedule for BlizzCon this year?
For me, of course, the thing I'm most excited for is the Heroes of the Storm tournaments, the finals, to see all of the different regions come together, clash, see what meta prevails. But of course, I'm also excited to see what more is in store for us for Legion. We already heard a lot of cool stuff with the new class, the new weapon system, the PvP system that's coming out, and then of course Overwatch.
Yeah, Overwatch, and we have more stuff later in the show about Overwatch. Amazing stuff. Shark, how about you? What are you really looking forward to?
The parties, man.
I don't give a crap about the con.
No, honestly, you remember the first year I went to the con? I didn't even go to the con. I was just living in LA, and you guys were going to be down there, and I had just joined Asparagus Initiative, and I'm like, I'm going to go to that party. I'm going to drive down to Anaheim. It took me 2 hours to get there.
Yeah.
From Hollywood. It was terrible. But I mean, I had so much fun just hanging out with you guys outside the con. So
it's the best. And
I really am just looking forward to the social stuff. I mean, yeah, I'm super excited for opening ceremonies is probably my favorite part. All the hype. Everybody's in there what's going to happen? Who's going to get? What are we going to get? Do people do stuff? And I don't know. It's so much fun. I can't wait.
Do you think we're going to get any big surprises from the Open this year? I think that all the surprises have been kind of given to us already, right?
No, I don't know, man.
I mean, at least for World of Warcraft. I don't know.
I think for WoW, I don't think they're going to drop anything huge. But there's got to be something. I mean, last year, I remember I was talking to a dev outside on Thursday night. We were, pre-gaming a little bit outside the Hilton. And there was one of the, it wasn't a dev. It was just a guy that works for Blizzard. I think he worked with the team or something. But he was kind of a lowbie, but he knew what was going on. And he just kept shaking his head going, just wait till tomorrow morning, you guys. It's going to be so cool. Just wait. And then they drop Overwatch on us.
Right.
It's so I know they've got something big planned. They have to. It's BlizzCon. I strongly feel like something huge. It might not be as big as a new IP,
Right.
But they're going to have something that's going to get people. I think it's going to be some sort of beta, or I think they're going to announce the date for Legion.
Ooh.
Is what I think going to happen. That's what I think the big WoW news is going to be.
Gizmo.
Is they're going to announce a release date.
Predictions, buddy.
I don't see anything huge happening this year, just because, like, for last year, for instance, for Overwatch, there was a big piece out, like, of time blocked out of the schedule that just wasn't listed, because and that's how people knew, like, okay, obviously there's gonna be something big. There isn't that this year. Maybe they're trying to just hide it, mask it with something else to kind of get us down and then bring us back up. But
movie trailer.
Well, yeah, they're good.
Movie trailer.
Yeah. Movie
they gotta
trailer.
release
for
the
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the new Diablo or new expansion doesn't look likely, since there's only 1 hour scheduled for a Diablo 3 panel out of all the days.
Yeah.
Maybe Warcraft 4 still? Getting my hopes up. I really want to see that.
Come on. No.
I would love to see it too, but it's not going to happen, dude.
I don't know.
They're not going to do Warcraft 4.
I mean, never say never, but geez, that seems like it's kind of a long shot.
Well,
I still like what Solomia. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My thought is, so Legacy of the Void is the like conclusion to StarCraft, correct?
Yeah, supposedly.
I believe so. So, I mean, StarCraft has been their biggest esport for the longest time. So they're not just gonna stop making an RTS game.
I suppose.
Either they're gonna make a StarCraft 3, I don't know, or bring back Warcraft esport. That'd be sweet.
That actually would be kind of sweet. That would bring Warcraft into the esports, which would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd like to see
besides the WoW Arena.
Yeah. I mean, because I just don't know if and I don't know numbers on crowds for the WoW Arena and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure that it's huge and doing well, but I mean, I don't think it's doing anywhere near as good as League or as Heroes. I mean, I just don't necessarily see it in the same way anyway. So, but yeah, I mean, could be.
I like what Solomio said in the chat. Overwatch beta. I called that when I was on the show about a month ago, and I still think it's gonna happen. You guys think I'm crazy? You think I'm crazy? But I think it's gonna happen. I'd love for the Overwatch beta announced to come out.
Well, and we have more to talk about with Overwatch as the show goes on, and
we do, which
kind of
I
stuff,
think leads to me being righter.
We'll
see. We shall see.
Well, it would be great to have like a bunch of new stuff, like right after BlizzCon, leading up to the holidays, to be able to play all the new stuff and be able to kind of, I don't know, like wear off like all the letters on my keyboard. That'd be great. I would love that to actually happen. That would be amazing. And so I guess we'll see. I know that there's no movie panel, although we probably will be seeing the trailer. There's no movie panel, which I'm kind of upset about. There's no live raid, which I'm kind of like, oh no. That was kind of a tradition. Panel,
the movie's going to be so close to release, though, and they've told us a lot, and they'll have the trailer out.
8 months. You still need to provide some hype.
No, I don't completely disagree with you. Maybe the trailer will be so good that we won't even notice there's not a movie panel. But
well, let's hope that's the case.
And last year they showed the sneak peek in a different place, like it wasn't in the hall; it was upstairs somewhere.
It was upstairs behind a curtain, and you had to go through the I don't know, whatever it was.
You had to pay a toll to the
troll.
That
was intense. That was intense.
There was a troll sitting right there, just waiting for payment.
Going, I must have your fee. It's 7 gold
he was
pieces.
Hey, man. Anyway.
It was a different kind of troll.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's a Warcraft troll. Anything else that you guys are psyched about for BlizzCon or are looking forward to? I know, hey, we've got a couple of different parties that we're going to, too. Because there's a bunch of parties on the Thursday night, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's Wowhead has moved their party to the Hilton. So the Wowhead party will be there. The what are they calling it this year? The other one, the podcast.
It's the Con Before the Storm.
Con Before the Storm.
In the world of podcasts.
Right, and we're gonna be hanging out there.
Part of Con Before the Storm, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, the world of podcast is part of Con Before the Storm.
Right.
Yep.
So So I know that we're going to be hanging out there, kind of, handing out stuff or talking about the Well Play Party, which is the next night on Friday night. So if you're in the I don't know, Anaheim area and want to stop by, you don't have to be a part of the con at all. You can just stop in and it's free and fun and a chance to meet up with some buddies that play World of Warcraft and are there for the con, hopefully. Or maybe not. Whatever. It's fine. It's all good. Now I am going to move it along to some questions that we've got this week.
We've got mail.
We do, and if you have a question about anything for us, about rating or anything else, let us know. We'll try to answer it on the show. You can always email us, converttoraid@gmail.com, or call our raid line, 612-787-RAID. And this first email, Shark, can you read this for us, please?
What's that from Blood Ghostlands?
That's the one.
Let's do it. From Blood on Ghostlands US. Hey, CTR crew. To the point, so with each added class to the WoW, Blizzard has added a new melee class and that can tank and DPS. With 3 added classes, I feel like we've reached a point where we have too much melee. I usually run into a lot of people attempting to raid as melee, and only a few ranged classes are being represented, mages and hunters. I was wondering what you guys think about the state of melee versus ranged classes for Legion, when WoW adds 2 more, Survival Hunter and Havoc Demon Hunter.
All right, so we're talking melee versus range, and Giz, what do you think? Because I think right now, ranged are slightly edging out melee as far as specs that can play at range. But that's going to change come Legion.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, ranged has always been really heavily needed in the raids. And so it's harder for those melee classes to find spots on raid teams. It kind of blows my mind a little bit that they're not, I mean, they have a 3rd open spec for the Demon Hunter, and they could have done something ranged, but maybe they just didn't have the time, or they couldn't figure out how to make it fit in the lore. But a tank Demon Hunter doesn't really make sense to me either. I mean, I'm excited for it, but yeah, I think, who knows, maybe the raids this in Legacy are going to be melee heavy, hopefully. So
sure, and disc priests are going to have to stand in melee range, and and holy paladins are going to have to stand in melee range, and everybody's just going to have to stand in that melee range. Everyone, so then it's all melee. What do you think, Shark? Does that sound like a good plan?
I don't know. It's what I don't want to have happen is the problem where you have to send people home. You have to send people packing because, we have too many melee, or we have too many range. In the past, the last few expansions, you've wanted to be range heavy. You've wanted to have more range players than your melee and tanks. Because it makes the mechanics easier to deal with. Range can soak more things. Range can move around. A lot of times when you're melee, standing right there in the boss, any mechanic that hits you, the more people that are there, the harder it is to avoid. And it's just one spot you have to be, So, but yeah, I don't know exactly the answer to this. It does seem like they're putting they're adding hunters to be survival. And they do have a new melee in Demon Hunter, but as long as you can balance it well to where you can be a little melee heavy and it's not going to matter so much, or you can be a little range heavy and it's not going to matter so much.
Well, that is definitely one way to make sure to balance range and melee, because I know that they've had issues with that before, where they had to give melee the 20% boost just so that they could compete with their ranged friends, and because they were failing hard, everyone was.
Well, and that's what I think Blizzard has not that they have a problem with it, I guess, but it's something that I get annoyed with, is that I loved for a while, and I think it was back in Mists of Pandaria, where they were saying we want to bring the player, not the class. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Remember when that was their banner they were waving, bring the player, not the class. Play what you think is fun. If you think Survival Hunter is fun right now, even though it's, right now apparently it's parsing really low, you should be it. I want to see them try to balance it a little bit better to where you can just say, I am, from a lore aspect, I'm a Beastmaster Hunter. I know my girlfriend, for example, she will not dismiss her Quillen. That is her pet, and she will be Beastmaster forever. It doesn't matter.
Right.
I would love to see more Raiders be able to do that. I understand mid-maxi and top end is going to be a little bit different, but I would like to see the majority of raid teams be like, right now, Survival Hunter. Yeah, you're a Survival Hunter? Come on.
Right.
Just come play.
Right.
So I would love to see it to where melee range, it doesn't matter as much in the more casual scene. I don't
Unless, of course, you're doing pugs and stuff like that. Because the one thing that I will say is that raid leaders who are running like a ton of pugs, they will take a look at all the different classes and specs and see what's parsing the best.
Yeah.
And they won't even take certain specs because they'll be like, nope, you're out. You're just out.
And I
don't
hate
even
that.
want to deal with you.
I hate that so much.
Right.
I want people that are playing the specs that are parsing poorly, but play the spec really, really well. I remember for a long time, I was a fire mage that was going to play fire mage, and there was no one that's going to tell me any different.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people were like that.
I don't care that Arcane's better. I don't like the way Arcane plays. I'm a fire mage.
Right.
And I usually pulled really good numbers with my fire mage compared to what other people in that particular raid was doing. So I do. I want whatever Blizzard can do to stick with that mantra. Bring the player, not the class. I think that is a great aspect to keep in the game. I wish that we could do that.
And I know that like Tovo, I think it was Tovo anyway, playing Survival Hunter, and he was just killing it. He was just killing it on Survival Hunter, and he's like, I'm not going to change. Not until my numbers start changing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Do it
to it.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, let's go to the next question. And this is from Tales of Vascos. It says, if Blizzard was willing to lower the Mythic raid team requirements from 20, what would be lesser but still reasonable? So we've kind of talked about this a lot on the show, where especially, back a few weeks, a couple months maybe, where I was kind of ranting about how recruitment is the toughest thing about Mythic raiding, especially on a casual basis, right? Because it is maintaining 20 people that will all show up and all be totally in it to win it is really, really tough, as we found out over the last expansion.
Yeah.
So guys, number one, do you think that by lessening the number of people involved in Mythic raiding on a team, let's say it was 15 or whatever, do you think that would help the situation? And then what would that number be that could help the situation? So, Giz, I'm going to start with you, bud.
Well, what if they made Mythic raiding flexible?
Oh God, that'd be
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Do not do that. Please do not do that. No. But I do think 15 would be a good number for me personally, just because our raid team did have trouble getting a full 20. We did have a few bench spots, but it's just one of those things that if somebody can't make it, you can't do Mythic that night. So maybe it's just smaller team. You could have, it'd be easier to get more reserve players.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe going with 15, you'd have a 2 tank, 4 healer, 9 DPS, or 2 tank, 5 healer, 8 DPS.
It'd probably be 4 healer at that point.
Yeah. So
that's what you're looking at. Shark. So you don't like going flexible for Mythic?
No, it's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea. Because what makes Mythic is the fact that they can fine-tune it so precisely that, that it's a huge challenge. I know that there was an interview with Pardo, Rob Pardo earlier, where he talked a little bit. And basically one of the quotes that I'm pulling from it is that games shouldn't always be easy. Right, that's the idea. Like, to make the game interesting, it shouldn't be easy. And that's what Mythic raiding is for WoW. At least what they're attempting Mythic raiding to be right now for WoW. Mythic raiding is the hard part. Dropping the requirement, I think that regardless of how many people you get to play, I think you're still going to find the same problem. There will be a smaller percentage. If you have 20 people, there's a higher percentage of somebody missing, right? And if you have 10 people, there's a lower percentage. But how many times that's how we got Hansi to join AI, I remember, because people were missing and Hansi was a pug that we picked up and kept him around.
Right.
And we found a great player in that. So, but I don't know. It's just one of those things where you're still going to have the same problems with recruitment. If you don't have a bench, you're still going to have to pug. If you do have a bench, you have people that are sitting the bench.
Right. And and you have to keep moving throughout the process. So I mean, even if you're a more casual raid team, if you're not progressing at an okay rate for everybody, whatever that may be. I mean, obviously that's going to be flexible for every group. But if you're not making progress in a certain fashion, you're going to lose people, which means that you have to recruit more people anyway.
Yeah, and some of these bosses, especially if you're a more casual team, that the raid's only once a week,
right?
Like my team's going to be, which right now I'm not even wanting to attempt Mythic. We get to Heroic and we do it, we're just going to farm. I don't even want to try because it's going to be throwing. I mean, some of these bosses have over 300 pulls on average before the bosses go down. And it takes a long time to get 300 pulls. And if you're only raiding 4 hours a week, that's months.
Yeah.
So who's going to want to stick around for that?
And who's going to want to sit on the bench for it? And who's going to want to, I mean, all that kind of stuff too.
I got crazy on AI for a while because I was sitting the bench for a little bit too long. And I'm like, I got other shit to do. Okay, I can't say that.
That's right.
2 in a row. Gosh.
I know, right? Yeah, whatever.
Jeez.
I said a bad word.
That's all right.
But yeah, it's I don't know. Man. But yeah, I don't know. It's a problem. I think it's a problem without a solution. I think it's interesting because it is a problem. I think the fact that it makes it hard makes it to where the teams that are able to succeed have that much more of a feeling of success. Like this is really, really hard. Most people can't do this. And that doesn't mean you're a bad player. It doesn't mean you're not good at the game or you should quit. It means that most people can't do it. And when you are able to achieve it, it's a really rare, really magical thing. So I don't know if lowering the number would make it. I don't think it would solve the problem. And I'm not sure it would make it better.
Right. Well, I just don't like the only thing that I don't like about it is now I lost my thought. No, that the hardest mechanic of Mythic raiding is recruitment. I don't like that part. Everything else about Mythic seems great, like tuning and the difficulty of the bosses and all this kind of stuff. I just don't like that the hardest mechanic isn't playing the game. It's everything before you play the game. It's everything before that. That's the hardest part.
It is disconcerting. I
mean, I think really what it comes down to is that Blizzard should open it up and say, you know what? Hey, we're gonna release the server requirement for Mythic raiding. So you don't all have to be on the same server. Maybe a majority of you guys have to be on the same server, but not everybody has to be on the same server because hey, you're doing tryouts too, right? So you want to make sure to try out people and do different things. And
isn't the big deal with that the fact that they don't want people interfering with the race?
Yeah, right. The race goes on for 3 weeks. Nobody's going to mess with that.
That's what I'm saying. Just release it after the race is
open it up to other servers after the race is done and just
once the top 10 get hit, it's like and now everybody.
Right.
I think that might be a really good solution. That might help the problem.
It could.
I think so.
Yeah. Who knows? And that would also help out the problem we discussed last week about the prices of transfers and stuff like that. And
yeah, absolutely. You wouldn't have to worry. I mean, you still wouldn't be able to be in the same guild, but at least it doesn't matter. You can play with whoever you want. That would be really cool.
Hey, Giz, you want to take the next question from Brewmaster 4?
Absolutely. It says, convert to raid story videos at the beginning of Warlords of Draenor and in Pandaria were so great. Do you think they will continue that trend in Legion?
And I think we know that the answer is yes. If we took a look at the BlizzCon schedule, because they're doing a panel on it. Right?
Yes.
It's on Saturday? I think.
It's up here somewhere.
It's
Let's
up
see.
in the show notes somewhere.
I'm gonna get close to read it.
Oh no, but it's first day. It's first day. So it's the cinematics, the road to Legion.
Oh yeah,
So-
there it is.
They've done a great job with cinematics.
It's
haven't
so
they?
good. That's Taryn Gregory, right?
Yep.
That's
Mhm.
who's in charge of it. Man, it's so I envy that man's job so much, and he got it by doing a contest.
Well, you got it by
Really?
That
doing
was so
movies
cool.
all the time.
Yeah, he was making machinima movies with World of Warcraft. He entered a contest for a World of Warcraft machinima movie, and Blizzard ended up going, let's hire this guy. Let's let him make movies for us rather than just using our stuff. It's really cool. They do great stuff.
Right. Yeah, they really do. I mean, I think it was ever since really the first time where we all knew about the cinematics and all that kind of stuff was probably Lich King. For the end of that fight, so epic, so amazing, so it brought tears to your eyes, and you were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe! Don't release!" And then, so I mean, it was just kind of like watching that cinematic. You go, "Oh my god, this is so great!" And they've only improved on that, and it's been really fun to see.
And it was also a great thing for back then. I wasn't raiding. I wasn't able to raid. I was in grad school and I was working all the time. So to be able to, click on the statue or whatever and watch the cinematic, and so you still get the story. You might not have killed the boss, but you still feel like, you're living in that world. They've just continued to improve on those sorts of things. I love it.
Yeah. Very, very
Absolutely. I've loved
Good
them.
stuff.
The only thing I have been disappointed in
Uh-oh.
was the ending cinematic
For
Warlords.
Warlords.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
because the guy got
I think
away,
I
and
feel
it's
you
like,
there.
who knows?
I mean, I don't know. It just didn't seem like it closed out an expansion. Like
It
the Mist of
didn't.
Pandaria one was
yeah.
awesome.
Well,
I love that one.
There was an end. Yeah.
Yeah, there was an end. There
Now
wasn't
it's still-
really.
Hints of a future, but it was over.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and this one is very soap opera, right? I mean, it's very much like Snidely gets away, and oh boy, here we go. We
Now
know
we
that
go
more
time.
is going to come now. So I don't know.
You think
like
it's over? Maybe not.
It's like the end of Back to the Future 2.
Okay.
You knew Back to the Future 3 was coming. As soon as the movie ended, you were
Gross.
like, oh, jeez. I don't know.
Time travel, where we're going, we don't need time travel.
Gotta get back in time.
There it is.
So,
Oh, man.
so there.
Or convert to lore.
Rocket League.
Oh, Rocket League! By the way, they have a new patch out right now. New DLC.
I
Pretty
still
awesome.
haven't played
They're
that
gonna
game.
they're gonna have the DeLorean coming in to Rocket
It's
League.
going to leave the fire
I've heard
behind
so many
on the
good things
tires.
about that game.
Oh,
Gotta get back in time.
oh, that's gonna be so amazing. I can't wait. All right, let's move it along to the BattleNet news. The BattleNet news, where we take a look at all the other stuff. I had to change the music because now we have a video open.
I
this
like
stuff.
the new music. I was never going to say how much I hated the old music. Because I know
The
you
old music was supposed to be dumb, right? And now, yeah, now we've got this. Yes. All right.
You just keep doing that.
So this is the part where we talk about all the other Blizz games, and first up, we got to talk about Overwatch. We've been teasing it all show, and Gizmo, what's happening with Overwatch? What's going on?
Overwatch, they are going to be doing a preview stream for the beta this Thursday on October 15th at 10 a.m. And yeah, they're going to be giving us kind of a preview of what we can see in the beta. And I don't know which streamers it is that they're having out, but I am really looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, it's going to be cool. And it's 10 a.m., sorry, Pacific time.
Pacific, yes.
So adjust your clocks accordingly. And it looks like it's going to be, I don't know how to pronounce these guys.
Hellenic,
Haley-Nick.
Elohim,
And
Elohim.
It's Haley-Nick and Elohim.
okay.
I looked them up. I watched some of
All
their
right.
Twitches the other day. Yeah.
All right.
I'll take your word.
I'm glad you did that because I have no idea. But
yeah, no, they're popular streamers, usually playing mostly first-person shooter games, so Counter-Strike Go and stuff like that. So it'll be. I can't wait. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I don't know if I'll be able to watch it because I'm going to be busy that day, but I'll definitely watch the VOD.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, so it's going to be those two guys playing with the Blizzard staff and just kind of doing a few games and seeing what it's like and kind of checking it out. No news on beta yet for Overwatch, but with this kind of show, you would expect that it would be soon, right?
Absolutely.
And Gizmo, are you saying the same thing that Shark is saying, that after BlizzCon we might see it, or do you think it still could drop before?
You know, I still think it could drop before, maybe the Tuesday after this. But
what?
Yeah, I don't. Hey,
you're insane, and I love you.
But I'm going for it here. I'm putting myself out there.
I hope you're right, man.
But if it doesn't come that week,
Mm-hmm.
I think we will not see it until after BlizzCon, because I don't think they're going to drop it like the week before BlizzCon, because I would be really upset. I would have to pack up my rig and bring it out to LA.
Wouldn't that be great? Everybody's like, oh man, now I got to carry another couple bags because now I got to bring my rig and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Oh man,
so
a couple bags.
Yeah, you want to bring all the stuff. Set up your screens, like 5 screens all over the place. You just set it up in your hotel room and just never leave. And you're like, screw the con, I'm just gonna stay here now.
Paid all that money to spend more money at the Hilton bar and just take it back to my room, like double fist some pints.
Oh man,
that's right.
My Hilton bar tab last year. I don't want to talk about that.
God, it's terrifying.
Let's talk about your Hilton bar tab last year. No.
Yeah.
All right.
And don't bring your own liquor to the Hilton bar, because I did that. Got in trouble.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh man. Too many stories.
There were too many stories of the CTR guild community doing weird crap last year.
We were the life of the party.
And I was not there, so I was just, I don't know.
You were there in spirit. We toasted to you.
I was there in
you
spirit.
Were part of it. There was at least, I know there was one particular person that had at least a 30-minute toast.
There was the Kinsman speech, which I won't necessarily
that was
to,
part of it too. Come to BlizzCon, everybody. Drop what you're doing.
People
get on
were
eBay,
crazy.
Get a scalp ticket. Let's do this.
People were crazy. That's all I need to say. So there was also an article or 4 about Overwatch being out or coming out, about journalists, those guys that cover esports going and playing some Overwatch and having a really good time with it. Not necessarily FPS guys, but just normal guys that are going on through and just playing the game and having some fun. So I am really looking forward to seeing what this stream is like on Thursday, because I know that I'm not necessarily an FPS guy. That's not where I've hung my hat. I usually like to do third person stuff. So yes, it's going to be very interesting to kind of watch this stream and figure it out.
A quote from that article: despite being inherently intimidated by the FPS genre, I quickly found that Overwatch is very welcoming to my kin.
There we go.
So there you go.
And again,
don't gotta be an FPS guy to like this game.
Right. And he was playing healers and tanks and just kind of having some fun with it. He wasn't doing the precise shooter type of stuff, because he has problems like I have problems when it comes to aiming. It's not on an FPS. It's kind of weird for me. So
those twitch reflexes.
Yeah, I'm okay at it, but I was playing Darius at CS:GO a few times, and that kid is good. That kid is really good. He would one-shot me all the time, just right in the head. Just it was
headshots.
It's just horrible.
Their Penny Arcade comic a while ago is like, do teenagers know how to shoot anywhere but in your head? Like, I can't play games anymore.
And it was funny because it was at PAX. We were sitting around playing CS:GO, and we were sitting next to each other but playing against each other. And I like turn around after the game and I just slugged him right in the shoulder. I just went, stop it. Let's play on the same team. What do you say? Horrible. So that's going to be Thursday. Watch out for that. And the other thing that is happening in the BattleNet news this week is that Hearthstone is coming up with some serious changes, and Shark is in terror and Gizmo is cheering. So Shark, what is going on with Hearthstone?
Patron Warrior is dead.
Yes.
You heard it here, folks. It's over. There is no more They took Patron completely out of the game. No, I'm just kidding. Huge nerf to Patron Warriors, though. And if anybody not familiar with what Patron Warrior does, is you kind of fill up your side with cards using the Grim Patron that keeps respawning. And you put out these guys that you can give charge and will go and bust your face for like 1,000 points.
Right.
Well, what they did was they nerfed the card that gave it charge. You can no longer do that in one turn. You have to build it for 2 turns in order to do it, which significantly, I mean, it was a 1-turn kill deck, and it was just not fun, and it was basically impossible to counter.
Well, and it was just
the right cards in your hand.
If turn 8 comes around, which is the exact number of mana for to play this patron thing out correctly,
the charge and the patron.
You play your Warsong Commander, which is the thing that gives charge to everything with 3 hits or less, 3 attack or less, and then you play your Grim Patron, which has 3 attack and has this little respawn thing going on. Then as you damage it, you spawn more things that also have charge, and you just keep going until.
Well, and if you can drop that frothing berserker every time someone takes damage, it gains, and that's
berserker.
That's what people were doing. I mean, they were doing 70 points of damage in 1 turn.
I've done it. And you still can right now, so make sure to do it as much as you can right now.
Yeah, it's not out yet. Go play your patron hearts out for right now.
It's a hard deck to play, so
it is really hard to get the combo and to do it right.
It's a lot of math. There's a lot of math for that deck.
I don't know about a lot of math. I mean, it's a warrior deck.
Everyone,
get
out of here!
That was a warrior joke, by the way. No, but it's not. This is, and they actually said something along the lines of, we don't normally take a look at individual cards and change them. This is not something that we do lightly. This is something that we have played out for, gosh, how long? It's been a few months, right?
Long time. Patron Warrior has been dominating the competitive scene for a really long time.
They put out the Grim Patron, I think, during the Goblins and Gnomes.
That was Mountain, Blackrock Mountain.
Oh yeah,
Blackrock. You're right. So it's been out.
Remember,
for
a lot of people were like,
"This
card is garbage. This isn't going to be anything. No one's going to be able to figure this."
And then they found out what the deal was, and then they went, they went apey over it. It was crazy.
And the last few pro tournaments, it's basically people will say is like you either bring your patron deck, and then your 2 decks that you're bringing to combat the patron decks that other people are going to have.
Right.
And they don't want to do that anymore. They want, what this really means is that BlizzCon is going to be incredibly exciting for Hearthstone because they only have a month to figure out a new meta, because this deck has been defining the meta. Like I said, you bring that deck and then the decks to disturb that deck. Now the deck is completely gone, so you can do pretty much anything.
Nice.
It's gonna make the competition a lot more exciting, I think.
So what do you think the top decks are going to be for BlizzCon? I mean, what works these days?
Druid's been doing really good. You like Secret Paladin? I don't know if that's going to be pro top tier. I'm not sure. It's a great deck, but I know people have been doing some really. I'm most successful with Secret Paladin myself.
Secret Paladin is an amazing deck. If you guys don't play Hearthstone, you won't know about this, but turn 6 is amazing.
Yeah,
like every time.
You just drop all your secrets down. The one thing that bats that though is Flare. If you're going against a hunter and he drops a Flare on that turn, you just cry and concede. But yeah,
aggro druids are doing really well right now as well.
Druids are really good. Tempo mages have been doing some good things. Cool. I don't know. Maybe this is when we see shamans kind of do something, because I know one of the big problems with shamans were patron warriors. So maybe the totem shaman will work now.
How about pirate rogue?
I don't think anybody's made that work yet. It's really cool.
I have a pirate rogue deck, and it works better than patrons sometimes.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of fun. It's a good deck. I just think I'm not sure in the top tier pro scene how well it will do. But who knows? Someone might come out with I know oil rogue is still pretty popular as far as rogues go, but I don't see much rogues in tournament play right now.
Well, maybe they'll find something.
I'm sure they will, and that's why I think it's going to be super interesting. I can't wait. It's opened up, hasn't completely destroyed the meta, but for the most part, right. There's going to be something new is going to take patrons' place. We'll see what it is.
Right on. Anything else going on in and around the BattleNet that you guys want to talk about, other than the stuff that was in there?
Heroes.
Yeah.
Of the Storm. I believe this news came out after the last show, but Artanis, the official release date, is October 27th.
Oh, wow.
And even cooler, if you pre-ordered Legacy of the Void, you're going to get him a week early on October 20th.
Nice.
So you'll have him a full week early, and what that meant for me was take my money, Blizzard.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I've been talking about how I've been in StarCraft and really can't wait to. That's why I wanted to do this early.
Yeah.
I'm eating almond for the next 3 weeks because of that too. So there you go.
So I guess the question is, do you think Artanis is going to be involved in the Heroes tournament for BlizzCon?
That is a big debate. I personally would love to see him in BlizzCon to really mix things up, make things exciting. However, that would mean, what, if he comes out on the 27th, less than a week for the teams to practice him and get him into the current meta? That could really screw things up and hurt some teams.
Yeah.
But I would like to see which team can overcome that.
He looks like he looks like a tough dude. He looks like he's pretty serious.
And I think as far as professional esports go, I mean, you're sitting here, look at why we like professional sports, the curveball.
Yeah.
Right? Throw something at people that they're not quite expecting, that they're not quite. It's the same thing. The NA championships that happened a week after Rexar came out, or I think it was even the week Rexar came out, and they were going to ban Rexar until they got a lot of teams that said, no, we've been practicing Rexar on the PTR. We want to play Rexar. Don't ban him, because that's what makes the game exciting. People aren't going to be expecting that.
Was he ever played during that tournament?
Yeah,
I think it was maybe a couple of times, right?
I think he made it all the way to the finals. There was a couple matches. No, maybe they didn't make it in the finals, but but the matches, the semifinals going up to those, there were definitely some comps that had Rexar in it, and he fit into what they were trying to do. So I think Heroes is one of those games where you have high tier heroes and low tier heroes, but at the same time, any hero can win a game. Like if you build the right comp, if it counters the right stuff, and if you're playing them right, you can. Gazlo, for example, a lot of people think Gazlo is garbage. Gazlo can be the guy that wins the game.
They just put out a new Carbot animation about Gazlo.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty funny.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah, those
I have to watch it. Those are the best. Nazebo's my favorite.
Throwing spiders and crap. Yeah. Yep.
Picking up spiders and just throwing them at Arthas.
Right.
Arthas is like the Lord of Darkness or whatever, and he's like scared of spiders. Anyway. Carbot animations, guys. Go watch Carbot. It's on YouTube. Yep. They're all really funny.
It's pretty good. And by the way, I mean, we've been talking about BlizzCon a lot this show. And I am so looking forward to the Heroes tournament, and I'm looking forward to seeing, some Hearthstone probably and some WoW Arena for sure. But I think that because I'm gonna be there and because I have virtual ticket, I'm gonna maybe forego some of the panels and just go watch esports. I think this is the year where I just dive full in and say, you know what? I'm here. Let's join the crowd. Let's, the water is fine. Let's get in there and watch some live esports. I think it's going to be nuts.
I'll be right there with you. I hope they let us bring drinks in there. Be like in the football game. Just
some
where's
cocktails?
Popcorn. Get your popcorn.
We need cocktails in there.
Yeah,
that's great. All right, we're going to get out of Dodge. So I'm going to play the music. And then I realized that Darius normally does the 5 stars, so we're going to skip those for this week. It's fine. Darius, he was just late. He couldn't make it. He's not sick. He's not hurt or anything like that. He's just...
You've got like 5 new hosts on the show. That guy's been dragging the show down.
He really has.
We need to...
He's been dragging this show down for years.
So bad. I'm just kidding.
Now we can say what we want because he can't rebut this at all.
I know he's in the chat room, so anybody listening knows that I'm being...
Oh, there he is. He's in the chat room. Hi. How's it going?
Are you trying to say he hasn't cleared normal Hellfire there?
Oh, don't stop. You're going to get me in trouble again.
You said it, not me. I mean,
I did.
Actually, Shark hasn't cleared normal Hellfire, so...
No, I have.
Oh. All right.
That's why he can put people down, because... gosh, what a jerk.
That's from
Such a
Bert to Mythic carried me...
You elitist. Any shout-outs this week, fellas? Anything? I just want to give a shout out to everybody out there. I am so looking forward to BlizzCon. I'm waiting to see everybody out there. So if you're coming out to BlizzCon, make sure to say hi to me, all that kind of stuff. I know we're still a few weeks away, but I'm just, so amped. And also, big thanks to Pepe for hanging out tonight. Pepe! Pepe is life. Pepe is love.
Murky is life. Murky is love. He dies. He revives. He dies again.
Oh boy!
I'll give a shout out to my co-host, one of my co-hosts on Lords of the Storm, Multizord, for helping me out with a little news thing that we are doing now. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're doing a thing for whatchamacallit?
For BlizzPro, yes. Multi and I are doing the BlizzPro weekly updates now.
That's cool.
And if you guys want to check it out right now, you can. It's a little awkward, not gonna lie. The first one was actually pretty rough.
It was
we're getting there. We're getting there.
It's all right. You got to work on it. That's the way it goes with episode 1. You have a ways to go. That's fine. All right. I'm going to jump out of this music, and I'm gonna hit this music. And I'm going to say thank you guys for joining us so much. Thank you for taking the time to rate us on iTunes, even though we didn't get to them. Thanks for the feedback and for the questions. And please feel free to join in all the conversations we're having at any time. And you can do that real easy. You can email us at converttoraid@gmail.com. You can call us and leave comments and questions on our raid line, 612-787-RAID. That's 612-787-7243. You can follow us on Twitter at converttoraid or individually. Isn't that right, Shark? I'm going to make you say it.
That's right. I'm sorry. I'm too busy dancing. Trying to throw you off. You can follow Pat Crane at Pat Crane. That's Crane with a K. You can follow Darius at Bored Mind. Gizmo at Gizmozord. And you can follow me at Sharku_CTR.
There we go. Anything else that we need to talk about? For you two monkeys, anything else going on?
All right. Not at all.
No
cool.
Cubs.
Well, you guys can join the Bazooble Guabo Nation by heading over to converttoraid.com, where we have show downloads, forums, videos, audios, tons of links for raiders and all the guild stuff and a lot more over or at converttoraid.com. And for the live shows, you can head over to converttoraid.com/live as well. That is going to be it for the show. We hope you had a good time. I had a good time, fellas. Thanks for joining me tonight, Shark and Gizmo. And
you're the most welcome ever.
And not Darius.
That guy's so bad.
Such a casual.
Gosh.
Daddy. He's not even a casual.
And we hope not anymore. He went off that team. he was on the casuals now.
He quit after I left.
Right.
Pissed me too much.
But anyway, thank you guys out in the chat room for joining us. Thank you guys listening and watching this podcast later. We will see you on our next show next week at our regular time, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central. And for all the guys that convert to raid, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye, Pepe.
Bye.